boys, how are we doing? It's a cold start to the day, -1. No sign of the sun yet, but the sky's certainly getting lighter. It's lovely and cold though, lovely and fresh. No wind, no rain, which is a bonus, right? Just cold. How are we all? We good? So Wednesday today. But a change of plan. We did have Nicholas's Honda back in today. That's been moved till next Wednesday. So instead I've shoved a job forward, which is a Jeep Compass. It was a sales car from a second-hand car company who have not really been very honest with this guy, and he's pretty much at the end of his tether. To fill you in, if you care, he basically bought this Jeep Compass second-hand. The radio had a fault, so they did the obvious and went to Alibaba and bought the cheapest Chinese radio they could find for the Jeep and stuck it in. Doesn't work properly, guy's having loads of problems, doesn't like it at all. So came to see me with options as to what we could do, and I said, look, let's get a proper radio in there, yada yada yada. Booked him in, he turned up. Obviously he's got the Chinese 9-inch fascia, so nothing we've got is going to fit that, we need the original. So he then went through the hassle of speaking to the guy, trying to get the fascia, the original fascia, off of him so he could send it to the customer, and then we could put a proper fascia kit in it and a proper unit. So that took a little bit of time. When he finally got that, he messaged me going, right, Al, got the fascia ready to go with a proper unit, so we'll go with a Pioneer. We're putting a 360 in there. Then he just basically said to the guy that this Chinese radio is bad, I need a proper radio in the car for the price he's paid for the car. So the guy, the salesman, has agreed to cover the costs, so fascia kit, Pioneer, my installation. Just to give you some time aspect, this was July last year, June, July. Since then, about November time, I got a message from him basically saying, the customer's been back in touch. This is the salesman. Customer's been back in touch. Can I have an update on this yet? As in, he's trying to load the blame onto me for being so slow. Bearing in mind, he had his invoice to pay the bill the same day we saw the car. So I said, listen, pal, stop trying to push your delayed response with the customer and poor service onto my shoulders. I said, you've already had the invoice. You just need to pay it, and I'll deal with the customer from then on in. He then come back to me going, very sorry, didn't realise you'd sent me an email, can you resend it? So November time, I resent the same email again with the same invoice on it. About a month went past, this is into December. Customer come back and asked what was going on. Said he'd been in touch with the bloke, and the bloke had basically said, oh, I'm waiting on your guy doing his thing, as in me. Obviously we're waiting on the bill being paid, because second-hand car salesmen sometimes are not that honest. So I said, look, we don't do free jobs and try and recoup money. You pay us, we do the job. So that's where we've been at until Christmas time, when he popped in and just said he's getting really fed up with it. Has he been in touch? And I said, no, not at all. He's had 2 invoices, and I even showed Paul, the customer, when we sent them the invoice, you know, the details, the conversations I'd had with him, the fact that I'd basically gone, do not push your poor response onto me, because we've done everything you've asked and you're the one that's failing this chain. So we rang him then and there. He tried to pay on 2 cards over the phone, both of them declined. And then basically said that he would do a bank transfer once he'd spoken to somebody else. I'm guessing his mum. It sounded that kind of fashion. So about 2 weeks later he paid. I phoned Paul and said, look, you know, we've got the money, let's get you booked in. So today is the day that we finally sort out his unit from this car sales guy. Only 7 months late, right? That's customer service for you, isn't it? So yeah, so we're going to get that one done today. I've also got brake pad wear sensors gone on the van, so it now needs some brakes, which is, you know, par for course. The discs, when I bought it, did not look the healthiest. The pads have clearly been changed, so they've done 2 lots of pads, 1 lot of discs. and now the discs, well, they're lipped. I'm not going to mess around and just do pads and a sensor. We're going to do everything because this is an important vehicle. So today we'll be doing mechanical work, yeah, using my toolkit for what it's intended for. Shut up, haters. We will be doing some proper mechanics today. So brakes, I want to adjust the handbrake on this thing as well. So all brakes, front and back. They got delivered yesterday, but unfortunately Euro Car Parts, the front pads they sent me out had copper slip all over them. The sensors had already been plugged in and the pads had been used. So well done, Euro Car Parts. It's not the guy that dropped them off was giving it the whole, yeah, it happens a lot, people test fit stuff and then take it back out, and I'm like, listen, you're going to charge me new car part prices, supply me new car parts. I'm not using old shit. So we sent them back, and they should have some spares for me this morning, so we're waiting on that. So brakes on this Jeep, Compass, and then whatever else happens, probably back on with chaser stuff, get that thing going. Wheels for this, the spare wheels are at the powder coaters at Mike's, and the crash bar is also at Mike's. So the wheels are going to go silver, the new ones. Crash bar is going white, and then hopefully by that point we'll have the stereo in and sorted. I need to make an order for the trim, cloth, fabric, whatever I choose to do. I'm still in two minds about the colour of what I've got already. I don't think it's going to be right for the car, so I might have to change that again. And we'll just keep the carpet in stock for whenever. But that's enough, I've rambled on. Let's get to work, get breakfast. Bacon sandwich and a Daniel, and I'll see you in a bit. Morning everyone. So we are still waiting on the Jeep Cherokee. It's not showing up yet. I've got Dan just oiling up one of my calipers. I want down to everyone in the comment section, to get on the comment section this morning and ask Dan about his knickers this morning. Look at that little face. Ask him about his knickers.
You can ask me about mine, but I haven't got any.
He got dressed this morning in the dark and managed to stick on the Velcro his wife's, Mrs. knickers, to his leg, and then it's probably got in my van. We've wandered around Greg's, we've stood in queues with other ladies and other men this morning, and Dan's got pants hanging out the back of his Oh, so in the comment section, Dan, how's your knickers? Go. So we're starting on the rears. So we've got, as you can see, a rather used disc, but all right, but a little bit lipped. The pads are pretty much new, but we're going to change everything out anyway because I don't agree with using old shit. So we've got new sensors, new brake pads, new disc is already on. I've adjusted the handbrake in so we can get the disc off and on. Cleaned up the hub surface, got the disc on. We'll get the carrier on once he's oiled it up and greased it. Put the caliper on, new pads, new sensors, jump on the other side, do the other disc and pads. We're still waiting on the front brake pads coming. They should be on their way, but a little bit of maintenance today on this bad boy. Good old, look at that air suspension. Fat donuts for the win. See you in a bit.
Morning everyone. So first one's here, Jeep Compass, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got
factory radio that's been damaged before the car sale, as I discussed this morning. So we've got to separate this because what we've got at the minute is a Chinesian radio, an Android system. We've also got a flat tire warning.
Oh, joy.
Engine needs a service as well, but really nicely. So Daniel, obviously, as you can see, this is not a reverse video. We sat to my left, we drive on the right over here. And if Daniel, if you just shut your door. Daniel, can you open your door? No. No.
Wait.
Oh, the rears.
Oh, the rears work.
The rears
okay.
is correct. The fronts is not.
If I open the passenger front door.
Now if I shut my driver's door. Nope.
What the?
This is why we love these units. So we've got an Android unit we've got to get rid of. So this thing obviously is coming out, and we're going to put the fascia back in it with a kit and a proper radio, and that's going to be beautiful. Oh god, it's the big screen one as well. Lovely. Right, let's get cracking. We'll see you in a bit.
Right then people, so that brought a stop to that very quickly. So problems with Chinese units is they don't always go in directly. So what we've got is that somebody has fannied around with a loom behind here and has cut some bits. So we've got to order in some more bits. So this one's going to have to be delayed until either tomorrow or when the bits get here. But we've got some some nasties behind the dash. We've just put it back together for the moment because the guy's only just up the road, so we don't want to let him wander off all the way home just to end up calling him and going, by the way, you need to walk back now. So yeah, we'll get him to come back, get this one picked up, get it booked in again for another day when we've got more bits, and then we'll go from there. So the fun joy of Chinese units, yeah.
All I've got to say is, Mr. Miyagi, you mother.
So we'll give you a shout back in a little bit. I think we're going to carry on and do some more bits on the van. We've got brake pads and rear and discs on the rear to do. Help! Help! So we've got more discs and pads to do on the van. We've got front ones to do as well. And then we'll give you a shout back later.
Fuck's sake.
Right, catch you in a bit.
Yeah!
Yeah! Look, look.
What?
I can film the reg. Yeah, wait.
I've got some
snap-on.
Snap-on gloves.
Snap-ons.
I've lost my pee.
So
Brake pads for days, yo.
Brake pads for days.
Another story of a manufacturer wasting product. They should be held accountable for this. Look how much meat is left on that pad. It's like halfway through, and the sensor's giving it, change me! Like, when it comes to wasting materials on this planet, like, this should be part of it. Do you know what I mean? Like wasting oxygen. These mouth breathers.
So the back's all done now, isn't it?
Backs are done. We're going to show them then. We've just got to bleed the system, put some fresh fluid through it.
So I've poured a little bit of fluid out so that when he pushes the calipers back, it doesn't pour all over the place. I'll pull out all of your fluid, don't worry. So new discs in there, new pads, calipers all pushed back. This has got inboard shoes, so it's got brake shoes on the inside. And the old discs are a little bit pitted and horrible. So the new ones should make it a little bit better, and it shut the sensor up.
Should. Wants to.
Fucking better do.
Right. So you can take that away and clean it.
Yep.
I'm gonna, headphone users beware.
What?
Oh. Snap-on tools being used for snap-on tooling?
Like, I was amazed. I was amazed that you used your pry bar.
What?
For actually prying something off and not a screwdriver.
Where's the hub scrub?
The hub scrub's on your impact gun, which was.
What have you done with it, Daniel?
Oh, it's on
You've
the
left
bed.
it up here out of the way.
Yeah, out the way. So it didn't get crushed or driven over or.
Hub scrub.
Ooh. It's a brilliant tool, that.
Is that scrubbed enough?
Scrubbed plenty.
Professional scrubbed?
Professional.
Are you a professional scrubber?
No.
I am.
Oh. Ooh. Right, so we'll get back to you a little bit later on with some more stuff.
Alright.
Afternoon, everyone. Excuse the burping. Alex has had me take some fizzy biscuit paracetamol. Fuck! Right then, people. Thanks, GoPro. You're real funny. Real funny. So, I have Brad's Mini in at the moment. We did some brake pads on it on the front, if you remember. State of my hands. Did some brake pads on the front of it recently. He's had the warning light come back on the dashboard. We've checked it out and it's the rear brake pads. So you're catching up with me now, and I've already done both sides. Both the brake pads are in on the back, so we've got the old ones already out and already changed over, so you can see maybe just about the wear sensor is just that bit of plastic there, and there's a little wire that runs through that which looks like this. And what happens is when the brake pad wears down to a certain point, it breaks that little wire. Now what it is essentially is the car is creating a little circuit, and you've got two wires that connect in there, and it sends a signal through this cable and then expects to be able to see that same signal back at the front of the car or in the brake control module. When it doesn't see that, it's because it's broken the loop or broken the circuit. Then it gives you the warning light on the dashboard, and then you know your brakes need changing. Yeah, then, so for anyone that's doing these brake pads on your own or in your driveway or whatnot, they're quite simple. You're going to need a few tools. To take the wheel off, obviously you need 17mm wheel nut bolt, wheel nut socket, and then you need 2 bolts coming off of the top and bottom of the caliper just here and here. And grab a torch so you can see a bit better. Hang on. Right then, that's a little bit better. So obviously I haven't done these up yet, so don't berate me too much. You need a nut and bolt there, so you've got a bolt that's coming out of that one, bolt that's coming out the bottom of here, and they are both I think they're a 14mm bolt. What size of my socket that I've got here? Yep, 14mm. So we'll take those off, and then the caliper comes out. Just change the metal shims that are there. You normally get them with most sets of brake pads. They look a little bit like this. Get those changed out. Pop the new brake pads in there, make sure they've got a little bit of movement in them, make sure they're not binding on the disc when you put the caliper back on. On the passenger side, on the driver's side, sorry, driver's side rear, the wear sensor comes in the middle of the caliper, just about in there, in that gap. What you do is take off, there's a couple of plastic nuts that come off of these little studs, pull that back. Behind there you should be able to see just about, there's a couple of little plugs there. And
make sure you do that properly. I want no more people kicking off that we're not showing what we should be showing. Man, fuck them kids! Man, fuck them kids!
I'm just trying to be informative here, in case anyone's got to do it themselves.
What?
Yeah.
Do it themselves?
DIY?
What's that shit?
I don't know. I've got no idea. So new brake wire. Click in there. That's going to tuck around the back of there. Around the back of the... I'm trying not to, mate. It's only been like a minute or two.
I said YouTube bit, I meant like...
Yeah?
Not tell everyone you've had a shit this morning.
I didn't.
How are we looking?
Good, nearly done. Just got to put this in.
What do you mean nearly? Come on, shut the side. Time is money!
And we're making money.
Right. Give Bradley a shout, tell him his tyres are shagged.
Yeah, 2 front ones.
Spent loads of money.
Couldn't do anything because the Jeep was wrong and broke.
Right, that's coming in Saturday.
Right, we'll catch up with you in a little bit. I'll see you soon.
Right then, everyone. So we got a.
Fucking beep beep.
Go on then, bring it in. Jake's Dan's brother. His van coming in tomorrow. We've got seats and R2D2 back in the work bus, and obviously a full complement of brakes changed. Also done Brad's. That's sorted. So quite a mechanic-y day today, which is good. Right, get that door down, mate. Let's get packed up, shoot off.